With the new long overdue sequel coming out next Friday on Prime Video, I figured we'd go back to this classic film and see if it still holds up to this day. Let's get right into the review. Welcome back to my channel. This is Let's Be Real Brad. I talk about movies, TV shows, and do all sorts of fun and exciting videos here on the channel. If this is your first time here, you should hit that subscribe button and drop a like on this video, as it would be gladly appreciated. Today we are talking about an essential 80s classic with Coming to America. It is directed by John Landis, starring Eddie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, James Earl Jones, John Amos, Madge Sinclair, and Shari Headley. In case you didn't know the plot of this movie, it is essentially about a pampered African prince who travels to Queens, New York, and goes undercover to find a wife he can respect for intelligence and strong will. Coming to America is one of those films growing up I had seen only once on TV. It was so edited down in such a terrible way, taking away many of the great jokes in the movie. After all these years later, I finally watched it again with the new 4K transfer released in December. I have to say, I appreciate and enjoy this movie way more than before. A big reason for this is that many comedy movies I watched as a teenager were very dumb, cheesy, and stupid movies. I still think most of them are even funny to this day. Coming to America fits those categories, but its well-written screenplay, fantastic pacing, and well-told story make it stand out from the rest. So, let's dive right into the positives, starting with the acting. The acting is terrific in this movie, like really good for a comedy movie. Eddie Murphy knocks it right out of the park as one of his most iconic career performances. In interviews, Murphy stated that he wanted to play a totally different character after his past few films where he said he was playing Eddie. He took on the challenge of even playing a few other iconic roles in the movie. He sold me on this character being an extremely likable, spoiled prince that wanted to do something for himself. His positivity and charm light up the screen in every moment of the film. James Earl Jones is perfect in this movie, playing Hakeem's father. James Earl Jones's voice talent is so fantastic that he can sell any line in any movie. His overly serious performance makes for some of the most laugh-out-loud jokes. Arsenio Hall, being his servant and friend, is perfect along with Shari Headley. The chemistry between Murphy and Headley is great, which they felt so natural together. They had the best parts of the film. The story is so iconic that it has been copied and emulated a few times since. A man from a foreign country wants to find his own way of life as he travels to a brand new country, learning the paths of their culture and hopes to find love along the way. The writing is great in this movie, being a wholly memorable and iconic movie. It is laugh out loud with hilarious jokes and some of my favorite jokes in a silly comedy movie. The film is very aware of itself being very silly and goofy, but I never found the dialogue to feel forced or annoying in any way. The movie feels very natural in a wholesome, mature, and extended way. The movie takes its time to explore these characters, leading to slower pacing than we're used to seeing in more contemporary comedy films. It threw me off guard, especially in the first 20 minutes, but I found myself getting used to it and enjoying it so much more because I could take all the scenery, dialogue, and performances in a much more satisfying manner. The costume and makeup are so damn great that they were nominated for Oscars for each of the categories respectively. This is an overlooked accomplishment because the filmmakers created their own culture of this fictional place of Zamunda. So the costume designers and makeup artists got very creative in how they wanted the characters to look, which made for hilarious jokes and set the realism of this fictional world of Zamunda to be real when they're in America. This movie is also very well shot with also having great editing. I bring this up because silly, dumb comedy movies usually have some of the most annoying shot compositions with terrible editing. I think this movie looks very competent and has a great flow to the film that never distracted me. It didn't blow me away or anything, but it shows Landis and this team worked extra hard to make this movie's presentation as great as possible. This film does have its share of negatives, starting with the jokes. I think this is a hysterical film with some laugh out loud iconic jokes, but there are a handful of jokes that don't land for me or just feel redundant. One of them being the weird old guys Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall play. These characters are funny, but their jokes go on for way too long, feeling very redundant and get old very quickly. Some people may think the redundancy is very funny, but I could have gone without it. While this movie is very simple and straightforward, The film is very predictable and cheesy. You know how everything will play out without having too many twists or turns throughout the story. I think there could have been more that they did with this concept as a whole. Speaking of doing more, my biggest complaint I have with this movie is that John Landis and the crew chose to make this movie completely colorblind, with 97% of the cast being black. The whole film is about black excellence. In history, black people in America have been oppressed, so having this man from Africa explore New York with the film showing black people struggling in poverty should have been made into a small portion of the film that could progress his character more into giving into the community. The most significant comparison of this is in Wakanda in Black Panther. Obviously, those movies are entirely different, but very similar in black royalty coming to America and seeing how poor and mistreated they are. The movie's about Hakeem coming to America to find himself a wife and learn and understand a brand new culture highlighted in American culture. I think him learning about this and understanding that he's a rich black man who is unheard of would significantly grow his character. It would only be in a small section of the film to push this movie into a great movie instead of a good movie. Overall, this is an essential 1980s romantic comedy film that everyone has to see at least once in their lifetime. It is an iconic movie that everyone knows is very influential on the American culture. It has tremendous acting, solid writing, an entertaining story, and a high rewatchability factor that you can always put on no matter the time of day. I positively give this movie a watch and buy the new 4K because it is an excellent transfer. I'm giving Coming to America a 7 out of 10. Have you seen Coming to America? If so, what did you think of it, and are you excited for the new sequel coming out next week? I want to know all this down below in the comment section. As always, I will see you all in the next video.